For this quadratic, I want to find the zeros, and so it wouldn't be a bad idea to always look at the graph of the quadratic that you're about to solve and estimate the zeros before you start to solve it. That way when you get to the end, you'll know whether or not your answers are reasonable. So I'm going to go ahead and graph the quadratic to start. And I can see that it doesn't touch the x-axis at all. And so that tells me that I'm not going to have real zeros and that I'm going to have complex zeros. So to find those, this isn't going to be factorable. I'm going to have to use the quadratic formula, where 9 is A, 30 is B, 26 is C. Remember the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I'm going to substitute my values into the quadratic formula. So x will equal negative 30 plus or minus the square root of 30 squared minus 4 times 9 times 26 all over the 2 times 9. Now, I would try to avoid typing everything into your calculator at this point. That's where a lot of small errors come up. And so I'm going to go step by step, and that's a negative 30. 30 squared is going to give us 900. And then 4 times 9 times 26 is going to give us 936. And so you can see this is where our complex numbers are going to come in, because we can see that we're going to have a negative underneath the radical. From here, I'm going to simplify what's underneath the radical. So I have negative 30 plus or minus the square root of negative 36 all over 18. From here, I'm going to head and divide both of these terms by 18. So x will equal negative 30 over 18 plus or minus negative, the square root of negative 36 is going to give us 6i over 18. And then from here we could reduce both of these fractions. And so between 18 and 30 we can take a 6 out of both. And so this is going to leave me with a negative 5 over 3 plus or minus. We can take a 6 out of the 6 and the 18, so this will give me a 1/3 I. Those are two complex zeros. And again, verifying with our graph, it never touches the x-axis, so we know that these answers are reasonable.